computer.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, bonjour and bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Riel Kunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you're watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on how to maintain a solid mental health. So in Florida, we have Dr. Katie Null. And going down to Toronto, Ontario, we have Pam Shran. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Dr. Katie.
Thank you so much, Riel. First of all, I appreciate what you're doing. I think that it's a very powerful and meaningful exercise. So thank you so much. My name is Dr. Katie Nall. I'm a Florida mathematician who's showing others how to dissolve their waffles, dissolve their worries, anxiety, fear, frustration, lethargy, exhaustion, and stress. And I do it by using emotional freedom technique, which is what my first TEDx talk was about. I really believe that we can control our emotions instead of letting our emotions control us. And that's what I work with clients. So thank you, Riel.
Oh, amazing, amazing. You can go ahead, Pam, and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Riel. Hello, the audience and everyone who's listening, joining in. My name is Param Shran. I'm a registered nurse with specialty in mental health, and I'm a certified therapist, coach, and motivational speaker. And I am here to empower you all to live your life to the fullest by managing your emotions, mastering your thoughts, and living life smoothly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my goodness. So now you can see that we are really, really surrounded by greatness. So Dr. Katie, I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway of the beautiful Florida. What will your billboard say?
Riel, I think the billboard that I would, the message I would choose on the billboard would be "This too shall pass," which actually would be pretty funny on a billboard. But but it's actually something that has gotten me through, understanding that to be here in the now and enjoy it because it'll pass. And also when we have those struggles and those challenges, to understand that this too shall pass.
And it shall pass. I love your billboard. I love your billboard, more especially this pandemic, this too shall pass. I love it. I love it. How about you, Pam? What will your billboard say? I can see your billboard. Maybe it's already there in the busy highway in Toronto. What will your billboard say?
I can visualize myself on the billboard, and the message will say, a badass mom, and be a mom that your kids can be proud of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I can see maybe it's already there in the busy highway 401.
Yeah, I'll go there and check.
It's coming, mine will be that billboard driving down the busy highway, and it's gonna say rise to greater heights.
Yes.
You know what? The sky is no longer the limit. So it's our point of view. We should rise to greater heights. And it's coming. It's coming. So now we're going down to Florida. We have Dr. Katie now. Not only does our next speaker for today have her PhD in mathematics education, she is also a TEDx speaker, a professional member of the National Speakers Association, and an accredited master trained and certified practitioner in emotional freedom technique, which is EFT. With additional training in trauma, quantum, and picture EFT, whether in person or online, Dr. Nal shows others how to dissolve their waffles. Waffles as in worry, anxiety, fear, frustration, lethargy, exhaustion, as well as stress. A careless housekeeper and a worse cook with no desire for rehabilitation, she somehow is still married to the same person for over 48 years. I'm going to stop right there, Dr. Katie, and tell you, if you were married to an African man, that's what we call wife material qualities, you are going to be kicked out. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dr. Katie now.
Thank you so much, Riel. I believe that emotions, that we need to go back to the root word, and it's just energy and motion. And that sometimes we forget the motion part and we get stuck in an energy. And I've been doing a lot of research on this. And the reason why is because when we have a positive emotion, joy, happiness, love, we have the physical reactions that we have are less intense than when we have our negative reactions. So in our adrenal, our thyroid, our cortisol levels, we have those same triggers that we have with the negative emotions. But when we have those negative emotions, that's the part that really gets zapped along the way. So what I love to do is to teach people how to get control of their emotions so that they can allow them to move through them and not be stuck in them. And that's what I love doing.
Oh, wow, Dr. Katie, are you done with your speech or are you still going on?
I could talk for a couple of hours, but I want to hear what Parm has to say. And I will have to tell you, I have a repairman that might be showing up at the door, so I may have to leave a little early. I mean, at least blank myself out. So, but I want to hear what Parm has to say.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna go to Toronto right now. We have Pam Shran, who is a registered nurse with specialty in mental health. With over 20 years of experience, she is a trained speaker by Mr. Les Brown, yours truly, the greatness, and coached by Tony Robbins, Eric Lockham, Skip Akemades, and Marisa Pierre. Wow, wow. Miss Ran is an author of the book that has been recently been published, Own Your Life, Create as You Go. She's a passionate speaker and a mindset coach. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Perm Shran.
Thank you so much, Rial, for this wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, good morning or good evening, depending on your time zone. And I'm so glad to speak to you today at this wonderful platform, Rise to Greater Heights. And the word height has always been a trigger for me. I'll share with you about it. But I want to share with you the value of something meaningful that will allow you to overcome the challenges of your life. Now, public speaking is my passion. And it's different now because we are speaking on a virtual level. We're speaking virtually. But before that, you know, most of the people, they have stage fright. But me, I have podium fright. I had podium fright because I was always worried, what if the podium is too high for me? Because I'm short and I'm 4'9", and this is it. It's not this is it that Michael Jackson talked about. It's this is it. That's the tallest I'm gonna grow. However, diamonds come in small packages. I know that. But since teenage years, I have been criticized, compared, laughed at, mocked at, and bullied because of my height. And that was a challenge for me. It affected my self-confidence. It affected my self-esteem. I was sometimes told that if I was at least 4 inches more taller, I would look normal. So I started believing that I wasn't normal. I started accepting other people's opinion of me. And I lived most of my life thinking that I wasn't enough. But my friends, other people's opinion of you is none of your business. The only opinion that matters of you is yours. What do you think about yourself, not what others do or say? And I learned this at a very later stage of my life. A day came when my life turned around. I felt unwell, so I went to the psychiatrist for some advice and counseling. And they diagnosed me with clinical depression and put me on antidepressants and sleeping pills. And I was like, no, I don't need pills. I need someone to talk to me. I need someone to listen to me. Have you ever had this experience when you just want someone to listen to you and no one was interested? Even the person I was paying to do so? But here is what I did. And I want you to know that when you are faced with the truth, embrace it, because that's where all the answers lie. One day I heard my children talking, and the concern in their conversation was, Mom's been crying a lot. Seems like Mom's been depressed. And that stirred something up in me. A strength came up in me. Something happened to me that day. And as Viktor Franklin says, adversity helps you to face yourself. I was forced to face myself. The anxiety and the concern in my children's voice, that gave me courage. And I made a decision that I was going to get better without medication. And now I'm not suggesting this to anyone, but being a registered nurse, being a mental health nurse, I know what's in that medication. And I wanted to, against anyone's advice, I wanted to get better without it. And my children's love, my commitment for them, and the reason that I wanted to be a better mom, it forced me to embrace the change that changed my life. My children being the reason for me, the reason they made me realize to step out of feeling sorry for myself, to step out of living the past life. That forced me to sober myself up, to look myself in my face, to look within. And that was my reason that helped me to change my life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you, while you look at yourself, you look at your life, what is your reason? What is your reason to keep on keeping on? What is your reason that's helping you to move forward? Look at that. Look at what is the reason for you being here, because there is a reason. There is a reason you are here. You are created on purpose, for purpose. You are here because you have something special in you. Now, are you living your life to the fullest, or are you living your life on other people's terms? Are you living in the past? Are you living in victim mode or victory mode? You need to find that answer for yourself. And I thank God for my children. And you need to find your reason. What's your reason to move forward, to find your passion, to live the life that you are meant to live? Not what other people tells you to do. What is your passion? What do you feel from inside? What is your inner power? And I'm coming for you. I'm gonna bring the greatness out of you. As my mentor, Mimi Brown's baby boy, Mr. Les Brown says, you have greatness in you. I don't know you, but I know this about you, that you have greatness in you. But how are you gonna bring that greatness out? Are you going to face yourself, or are you gonna just live life what other people tell you? Are you gonna live life on other people's standards, or are you gonna create standard for yourself? Now, looking within was what helped me to beat my depression, to live every day to the fullest, and to have meaningful relationships. You need to look within yourself. You need to find the answers from within. Now, I can give you 3 tips on how to do that, which helped me and can help you. So number 1, I want you to write this down. Number 1, have a positive mindset. Look at the things that is happening for you, because life is always happening for you, not to you. Create this thought in your mind that life is always happening for me. Whatever is happening for the good. Focus on your thoughts. Watch your thoughts, what you're thinking, because thoughts create things. Whatever you think, you create. Now, are you choosing to create abundance, or are you choosing to create poverty? That's up to you. The choice is yours. You need to watch your thoughts all the time, every moment, not just today or tomorrow, every moment. Think what you're thinking. Watch what you're thinking. Think before you think. Stay on the right track. Stay on the positive track. Catch yourself when you are thinking a negative thought. Change it immediately to a positive one. And focus on the things that are happening good in your life. Focus on the good. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Because wherever the focus goes, energy flows. So when you focus on the good, good comes more. And if you focus on the negative, if you focus on the lack, if you focus on the hurt, then you're going to get more of that. No, you don't want that, right? We don't want that. You want all the goodness of the life in you. Number 2, gratitude. Develop an attitude of gratitude, because gratitude does wonders. What happens when you are being thankful for every little thing in your life? When you say thank you for the water, for the food, for the car, for the gas, for the money, when you say thank you for every little thing in your life, you tend to attract more of that. Gratitude makes you to focus on the good in life, and that way you create more good in your life. And last but not least, I can speak on mindset for hours and hours and hours, but obviously we have limited time today. So number 3 is forgiveness. I cannot stress enough. Forgiveness is like cleaning your mental slate. It's for you to get rid of all the negativity. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiveness means that you are letting it go. Forgiveness means you are moving forward. And forgiveness is for yourself, not for the other person. So forgive anyone who has ever hurt you. And forgive yourself too for being too hard on yourself. And seek forgiveness from others if you ever hurt them. Trust me, this is going to do a miracle in your life. Because when we don't forgive, what happens? We just stick to negative emotions of anger, resentment, guilt, regret. And these negative emotions are like hoping the other person will die. No, fortunately, that's not what happens. If I drink the poison, I'm going to die. If I'm having the anger, I'm hurting myself, not the other person. So the easiest way to get rid of these negative emotions is just let it go. Let it go. Forgive them, because forgiveness is for you. By forgiving them, you are getting out of the chains of negative emotions. You are freeing yourself. And that's how you are gonna attract more abundance in your life. So these are the 3 things that I really wanted to share. And if you are willing to learn, then anyone can teach you. But if you're not willing to learn, no one can teach you. And ladies and gentlemen, the best investment that you can do is in yourself. Invest in yourself. Look within. Looking within is going to give you all the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a question, and how we live it is the answer. Now, how are you living your life? Ask yourself. Are you living in abundance, or are you living in lack? Ask yourself. This is your time now, today. Start living in the present, because yesterday is gone. It's not going to come back. And tomorrow, we haven't seen it. When tomorrow comes, that's going to be today. That's going to be present. So start living in the present. Stop living in the past. Don't let past affect your present. Don't let past ruin your today, because whatever you believe is real is real. Whatever you think is possible is possible. Whatever you think you can achieve, you can achieve. Dreams do come true only if you dream one. So you have to have a dream, and you have to work towards that dream. You have to work to fulfill that dream. So, ladies and gentlemen, start living now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Tomorrow is not promised. Start living in now, because now is all we have. And thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And if you want to learn more about me and about my work, you can always email me at parmscoaching@gmail.com, parmscoaching@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Param Sran, or you can find me on Instagram, Queen Param. Yes. So you can get in touch with me. And I am recently planning to launch, very soon, I'm planning to launch my program, Pain to Purpose, and I would be really happy to share that with you. And for my friend Rial on this wonderful platform, Rise to Greater Heights, I'm going to gift you something to all the audience. I am going to give to you 30 minutes of free consultation with me, 30 minutes of free therapy with me. And for that, if you really want to get that, you can email me again, parmscoaching@gmail.com. God bless you all. Stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you so much for listening to me. And thank you, Riel.
Oh my goodness, Pam, you know, the audience is on fire. Like I'm just going over the comments right now. The audience is on fire. Your message, honestly, is life-changing. I just want to say, just drop the mic, drop it, because they are on fire. I feel like this time was really, really short for you to share this message. Your message, it just needs the whole day. The whole day. It's all about finding your purpose. You've mentioned that we all have greatness in us, and I can tell that you've been trained by yours truly, the man of greatness himself, Les Brown, who is always known of greatness. And you've mentioned that quote from Tony Robbins, that where your focus goes, energy, where your focus goes, energy flows, right? Like if you tell yourself that I'm going to be focusing on this, really, that energy will just pour in there, Welcome, If. Welcome, Sandra Taliasha. Oh my God, Nyebezi in Swaziland. Welcome, Patricia. Welcome. I can see that really you are gaining a lot from this podcast. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Pam, for sharing such a much needed message on mental health, on mindset shift, and finding your purpose. Thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you.
So now we're gonna go back to Florida. I hope Dr. Katie is now ready. I know there is too much going on her side, construction in her house, but you know what? We just need the message. So we are flying all the way to Florida, and take it over, Dr. Katie, whenever you're ready. You're muted, we can't hear you.
Unmute. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what I was saying is I wanted to thank Parm for an incredible message. She did a great job, and it was very important, and all of her points are poignant. So I appreciate her. So Rial, thank you for your patience. Yeah, we have a lot going on at our house right now, and I apologize for the disruptions. So yeah, I would like to talk about how important the emotions are and stress. As it turns out, 80%, that's 80% of the 4/5 of medical visits are caused because of stress. Now, stress is something that we can control. And that's what I want to talk about, is that we can control stress. If you, Dr. Sally, Selye, was the one who really defined stress over 100 years ago. And he said that there were really two types of stress: eustress, which is the positives, the fabulous, the joy, the happiness, the love that we have, and also distress. And those are the negative feelings. We call them the heavier feelings. And he said that there were three major things that cause this distress. One is uncertainty. One is lack of information. Good. Yeah. One is for loss of control. Excuse me, just a minute. I already gave him the signal, honey. We're fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. So it's uncertainty, lack of information, and loss of control. When we deal with these, and I don't know about you, but the last 2 years, I've been experiencing every one of those things. So when you add those things all up, or even if you have a little bit, it accumulates. And where does it accumulate? It accumulates in your body. And that's what I love helping people with, is to be able to give them the power to be able to release the stress that they have stuck in your body, which can cause not only mental problems, as we know, but also physical issues. My clients that I have from around the world have worked on eliminating their stress from a lot of different ways. And I want to share with you 3 simple, easy stress reducers that
Okay. I believe we've lost.
Yeah, I think she froze.
Yeah, yeah, I think we've lost her. But you know what? I was really getting ready to hear more about the waffles, the way she's explaining it, the waffles she mentioned. Well, I was trying to take her notes here. Oh, she mentioned that we'll have to learn to dissolve our waffles. Our waffles, which means worries, anxiety, fear, frustration, lethargy, exhaustion, as well as stress. So I was just looking forward to hear more on that one. But you know what? I believe she's going to come back because I need her back here. I just want to get more. So to all viewers online, I can see that you're on fire. Dr. Kate is coming back. Please feel free, if you happen to have any questions for Pam right now, you can just drop them in the chat box, and she's going to attend to your questions at the end of the podcast, as well as Dr. Katie. If you have any questions for her, please feel free to drop them in the chat box, because they're going to be here to answer all of your questions. Thank you so much to our audience. So I'm going to be the next speaker right now, while we're waiting for Dr. Katie to come back. But before I speak, I always play my bio, and then I will come back and speak.
Non-Pumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown international speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Rial Kunene!
All right, before I continue, oh my goodness, I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with the raise of hand can say that, Rial, I have never, ever complained in life? never, ever complain in life. You know, seemingly I'm in the right platform and I can see your comments. I love you too, Maria. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Oh, the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Oh, the movie was really disappointing, you name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation. We tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It's always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they're apt to have a bad health. So next time we'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes, yet they're round? And funny enough, they're cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah, please write this down, Maintain a solid mental health. Maintain a solid mental health. You know, everyone can suffer from mental illness at any point of his life, but the stigma of the belief that you can't even improve in your situation can be very, very harmful. You know, the stigma and misunderstanding on mental illness in society, it discourages individuals to seek help and receive treatment. Like Dr. Katie, she mentioned that she shared a solution on how to dissolve your waffles. And then she mentioned waffles as worries, anxiety, fear, frustrations, lethargy, exhaustion, as well as stress. So good people, don't let stigma create self-doubt and shame, but you'll have to do what in life? Find purpose and meaning in your life. All you need to do is to seek passion. Always seek passion, good people. It's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know many, they butcher my name when they try to say it, but you know, Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So now you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success. No matter what comes my way, I'll have to chase after success. As I was talking about stigma doesn't just come from others. Sometimes you may mistakenly believe that your condition is a sign of weakness. Michelle Obama once said that it's time to tell everyone who's dealing with a mental health issue that they are not alone. And getting support or help, it's not a sign of weakness, but it's a sign of strength. And this message really stirred something within me. So all of us in the mental health community, we need to raise our voices against stigma associated with mental illness, which in turn can help reduce self-stigma someone with a mental illness may feel. Like Pam mentioned, that you'll have to find purpose in your life because you have greatness within you. And new developments are being made in mental health treatments. And I think that, you know, stigma training, it needs to be an ongoing instead of like a one-time thing. And it likely needs to address all of the stigmas all at once. You know, as flight attendants always say that put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. Put on that oxygen mask first. So every day, in every possible way, we need to stand up against stigma. More importantly, understanding mental illness paves the way for evidence-based therapies as well as treatment options. So when that alarm clock goes off, good people, please don't ever hit the snooze button. This is a wake-up call for you to go out there and maintain a solid mental health. But when that alarm clock goes off, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and maintain a solid mental health? It was Trent Shelton who once said, my mental health is a priority over any friendship or anything in this world. I'd rather lose anyone and anything before I lose my mind. So you should go out there and know the facts and educate yourself. Whether you're struggling emotionally or you know someone who is, educate yourself about mental illness, including substance use disorders. You really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always say that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. So get started today, because knowledge is one of the best ways to combat stigma. So take every opportunity to get educated or share your personal struggles with mental illness. Focus on the positive, good people. That means owning your life and refusing to allow others to dictate how you should view yourself. Mental illness is only a part of everyone's bigger picture. So fight stigma by choosing to live an empowered life. If I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals maybe that you want to achieve in the next 6 months? I am one of those people. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a mentor or as a coach, my goal is really simple and straightforward. My goal is to study your current situation and identify limiting beliefs and other obstacles that might be blocking you from achieving specific outcomes in your life. And then what I do, I design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. So good people, I so wish that you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I'll have to make a difference. The change that I want to see in this world must first begin with me. I'll have to go out there and be the change in this world. But in order for you to make that difference, in order for you to speak up against stigma, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. Really, that hungry lion in the jungle, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what elephants do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see that lion, I'll have to run. So I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to speak out against stigma. We'll have to have that kind of lion mindset. You know, it's so funny, when I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. And it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. I want to encourage you, if you're listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, show away your scars and show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside out, and show that the world that you can actually rise from your own ashes, since the phoenix has to die first, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. I don't know if you want me to remind you over and over again that your setback is your setup for your comeback. And I know you've already had this message over and over, but I am just reminding you today that your setback is your setup for your comeback. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months. I don't know what dreams you have for your future, but here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence, and those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you are the only one who can make your dreams come true today. My everyday inspiration, Ms. Dallas Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And he also continued saying that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery. That's exactly the same message that Dr. Miles Monroe said. He said the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to these messages, it just gave me a sleepless night. And I'm really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book before you. Thank you so much. This is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And you know, I didn't stop there. I believe that with the death of George Floyd, we need to stand for a world where no one shall live in fear because of the color of their skin, and where the criminal justice system treats everyone fairly and equally. So I decided to write human rights, which are God-given fundamental rights and freedoms, because I believe that everyone is born free and everyone has the right to life. And you know what? I didn't stop there. We came together here with 15 different authors from the Les Brown training, with only one mindset: resilience to greatness. And here, 17 authors around the world: Australia, New Zealand, UK, South America, North America, Canada, Africa. We came together. Cultivate your mindset for success. I believe these books has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And you can get this book from my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. And I also have a free transformation guide as well on www.risetogreaterheights.com. And I believe with the free transformation guide, you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, emotional intelligence, mental health, and many, many more topics, including spiritual growth and successful parenting. You know, growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. But I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Nompumelelo Riel Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Perm. Thank you so much to our audience. So we are finally, I believe that Dr. Katie, she wasn't able to connect back. So we are at the end of the podcast. So Pam, please feel free to remind the audience on how they can get hold of you. And if you have any complimentary that you just want to offer to them, this is the time. And you can share your final thoughts on mental health and a mindset, which is your topic. So take it over, Pam.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful speech. What a wonderful message, Riel. I loved it. And I'm sure the audience is going to get so much more from it and from your books too. And so in order to reach to me, again, my email is parmscoaching@gmail.com. If you want a 30 minutes free consultation, I'm giving it away as paying forward for Riel's audience. And if you want to read my book, where I have put all the tools and strategies that helped for me to get out of the depression without medication, you can use this book. It's called Own Your Life, Create As You Go, and it's available on Amazon. You can go through my book. It's got a lot of tools and techniques and tips to carry you forward. And at the end, I'm going to say, if you are going through any challenges, any health challenges, whether it's physical or mental, especially if it's a mental health challenge, you don't have to hide it. Having a mental health challenge is not a crime. You don't have to hide it. You have to speak about it. You have to share it so that you can get the right support at the right time, so that you have the right to live your life to the fullest. You have the right to do what you came on this earth to do. You came on this earth for a purpose, and you have to fulfill that purpose. As Riel said, we don't want to go to grave with all the skills and tasks and the gems in ourselves. We don't want to take that to grave, because on the other side, what if you meet the person you were gonna be, and then you think, wow, I didn't do that. We don't want to go with that regret in our life. So do it today. Whatever you want to do, just jump on it. Just do it. You don't have to be great to start, as Mr. Les Brown says, but you have to start to be great. So just do it. Just start. Do it now. And look after your mental health, because mental health and physical health, they're both so interconnected. And when you are in alignment with your mental health, with your physical body, with your spirit, miracles happen, wonders happen. You can read that in my book, how everything came into alignment for me once I started looking at myself within. Because whenever you feel there is no way out, there is always a way in. I was living, as I shared, in depression, in victim mode. I was feeling sorry for myself, but not now, not anymore. Now, when I come to room, heads turn. They say, she's a badass mom. They know I have a message to change some lives, and I am here to change some lives. As Jim Rohn says, your life can either be an example or a warning. My life is going to be an example. What is your life going to be? Make your life an example worth living. Do it now, because you have all the potential to do it. Trust yourself and do it. And look after yourself, look after your loved ones, look after your neighbors, because love is the key. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. So good people, just reach out to Pam. We welcome you. We welcome you, Lindo in Swaziland. We welcome you, Agnes in Zambia. And we welcome you, Elizabeth in Canada. Oh my goodness. Reach out to Pam. She has 30 minutes free consultation with her. Go out there and get her book. Reach out to her and see how you can shift your mindset, because that's what coaches are for. They are just here to help you to feel aligned with your goals. We can just stay in this podcast forever and ever, but you know what? Thank you so much, Pam, for sharing such a much needed message. I believe from your message, our audience has been really motivated and inspired. So thank you so much, my sister. And to our audience online, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope from Pam's message, Dr. Katie's message, and my message, you've been really inspired, motivated, and ready to rise to greater heights. So please, before we end this podcast, share the video, because you don't know whom you're gonna save out there who just needed to hear a message about mental health. Share this video, go on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Rise to Greater Heights. And you know what? After you subscribe, just click on the notification button, just turn it on so that you get a notification when we go live. So please do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as